Hello, everybody. I'm Shweta Anagde, and I'm currently an intern at CV Open. And today we are here to talk about how Wikidata has been constantly supporting our open science project on plant chemistry. So before we get started, let me go ahead and give you the outline for the whole presentation. I will first spend a few minutes talking about why we are mining the plant chemistry literature. And two, I will give an overview of the workflow. And three, introduce you to the CARIA interns who are then going to demo all of our tools and share their experience and challenges. With that, let's get started. So why are we mining plant chemical literature, right? So simply put, plants are better chemists than we are, and we use chemicals for literally everything, and that includes communication, defense, attracting pollinators, and so on. And we are specifically interested in a class of compounds called terpenes, which are special because they start from a similar starter molecule called isoprene. And based on what enzyme acts on the starter molecule, the final product is going to be different. And that's how we have a wide array of more than 20,000 different kinds of terpenes. So if you are someone who loves tea, then it's full of terpenes, and then there are a lot of crops which also have terpenes and so on. So we are specifically interested in these crops, that's corn, tomato, camellia, mint, lemon, grapes, and so on. And we are asking questions like, okay, so what are the enzymes that are involved in the terpene synthesis, and what are its genes, and so on. So given the large amount of scientific information that's out there in the literature, thanks to the recent advancement in bioinformatics and gene sequencing and so on, there is a lot of untapped potential in the scientific literature that we as scientists can make use of and make inferences, right? So, but even before we go ahead, let's just zoom out a little bit and think about how big the scientific literature is. So if you were to give you a little bit of context, if you were to hypothetically print out a year's worth of scientific publication and stack them up, the height that it would reach would probably be greater than that of Mount Everest. And that's how huge the scientific literature is. But sadly, you can't make use of all of the literature that's out there unless you pay. So to answer some of the questions that we have, the research questions that we have, we turn to the 30% of open access papers that's out there. So now that we are going to look into the scientific literature for terpene synthesis, how do we actually go about doing it? Well, if I were to manually do this, I would have to first find and download these papers, which is we have thousands of papers that we've got to download. And then we've somehow got to read the papers and annotate and make notes, right? And then somehow, based on my readings, I've then got to comprehend, interpret, and infer such huge amount of data. So how would I do that, right? So that's where CV Open Tools can help us. So we've developed tools which automatically download papers from open repositories like EuropePMC. That's the task of PyGet papers. Then we have a toolkit, which we call AMI, which creates what we call dictionaries, which are basically a set of terms on a specific topic from open data structures like Wikidata, and uses these dictionaries to comprehend, interpret, and infer what's out there in the scientific literature. So as I say, dictionaries are our mining tools, and we have created so many dictionaries in the past with OpenVirus and with CV Open, and we continue to create these dictionaries as we go ahead. So we have country, disease, drugs, funders, viruses, and so on. And most importantly, these are multilingual, thanks to the fact that Wikidata also catalogs information in not just one language. So with that, I would like to introduce you to the basic workflow that we will get back to throughout the presentation. So we first create dictionaries, then second, automatically download the literature, and third, search the literature using the dictionaries and link back to Wikimedia. So with that, I would like to hand it over to CARIA interns So a little bit about Karya program, which is hosted by DST Rajasthan. So so this program basically lets young research students to connect to real research projects, and that's how we've onboarded these interns into CV Open. So with that, I would first like to hand it over to Prachi, who is going to talk about how we create these dictionaries from Wikidata Sparkle. So over to you, Prachi.
Thanks, Shweta. Hello, everyone. I am Prachi Singh from Kota, Rajasthan, India. So I am representing about the creation of dictionaries from Wikidata Sparkle. Here's about me. I am a bachelor student in GTB Girls College, Kota, Rajasthan in India. I got this opportunity to join CV Open from DST Karya, Rajasthan. So here's a workflow in which we first create the dictionaries from Wikidata Sparkle, and then it will go further for scientific literature, and all of these were linked together in Wikimedia. So here's about how we create a dictionary. How we create a dictionary using Wikidata. So we use AMI, a text data mining tool, which create a proper AMI readable dictionary. For the dictionary creation, we use a Sparkle query as we take an example of diterpenes, as diterpenes are categorized in terpene synthase, right? So here is Sparkle demo for the diterpenes as we take Wikidata P31 instance of diterpenes in which we got the Sparkle results. Now we have a Sparkle results in which we have a Wikidata IDs and the labels of diterpenes. So here is Sparkle endpoint. Is this a tool for which we use for the data to convert into an XML format, because dictionary itself present in XML format, right? So these are the terms which we have got from these into the dictionary. So these are the last step in AMI. AMI helps into convert into a proper dictionary, and after this we got AMI readable dictionary. So here's a demo for AMI dictionary to convert into the proper readable dictionary. And here we got the final dictionary in which we have a Wikidata IDs and the terms, and this is a proper AMI readable dictionary which is ready to go off and annotate the scientific literature. And here my challenges which I faced before not joining the CEV Open, because I don't know about any coding language, but after joining CEV Open and the team, I learned the basics of it. So thanks to CEV Open and the team. So here are the useful links for the Wikidata Sparkle and for my wiki page, etc. So here are the workflow which I have created the dictionary from Wikidata Sparkle. Now next, Anjali will tell us about how we create a dictionary from scientific literature. So thanks everyone. Over to you, Shweta.
Thank you so much, Prachi. So we now have Anjali, who is going to demonstrate a second method of creating dictionaries, wherein she takes the scientific literature, the words from the scientific literature, and creates a dictionary and enhances it with Wikidata. So over to you, Anjali.
Thank you, Shweta. Thank you, Prachi. Now, hello everyone. Now I am going to have a take on creating dictionaries from scoping the scientific literature. So here is my bio. I am Anjali Shekhawat, a master's student at Jain-Narayan Vyas University of Jodhpur, Rajasthan. I got this opportunity to work with CEV Open through Karya program of DST Rajasthan, and CEV Open taught us about Wikidata and other open source tools. So far, we have covered the creation of dictionaries through Sparkle, Wikidata Sparkle, and now I am going to tell you about how we create dictionaries by scoping the scientific literature. So, what are the dictionary can be the question. So dictionaries are set of terms of our interest which contain the names of chemical compounds, plants, country diseases names, and so on. They are used to annotate the scientific literature. I have particularly created the dictionary on the TPS gene of mentha crop. So far we have created dictionaries by, first of all, we have created a mini corpus for that, so that we can scope this literature and find the gene terms manually. And next I have created a Excel file for that, and then I have downloaded the AMI to create this dictionary by running a command. So this is the command to convert my dictionary. This is the demo. Can you see this, how fast it is to create the dictionary by running this command? So here you can see a portion of my dictionary where there are the gene terms and along with their Wikidata IDs. Now this dictionary is ready to go off to annotate the scientific literature. So now here is my learning experience with CV Open. CV Open has taught us about teamwork in real sense. We have communally solved each other's problem, and this made the learning of the tools fun. Thank you so much. Now, so this is the workflow that we have covered. Now, next, Anam will tell us about her part. So over to you, Shweta.
Thank you so much, Anjali. So we heard Anjali talk about mini corpus, from which she got her list of terms from. So, but what exactly are this? What exactly is mini corpus, right? So we have Anam, who is now going to talk about what a mini corpus is and how we download the papers and so on. So over to you, Anam.
Thank you, Shweta, Prachi, and Anjali. Hello, everyone. I'm presenting how we create mini corpus that will answer how we find and automatically download papers using open tools. Firstly, I'd like to tell you about me. I'm from Kota, Rajasthan, India, pursuing my master's in plant science from JDB Government Girls College, Kota. I joined this wonderful team of CV Open 2 months ago. Basically, I worked upon making dictionaries for two crops, that is tea and tomato, containing enzymes and terpene synthase. As we have already got to know about creating dictionaries using Sparkle query, now we will cover automatically download literature, which is after dictionary creation, then linked to Wikimedia. Corpus is simply our literature, which is available as open access papers free to use on EuroPMC, automatically downloaded by Pygit Papers, which is a text mining tool developed by Ayush Garg. It uses command line interface, which takes only few minutes to download 100 of papers. Now you can see the demo. As you can see, I ran the command to download 80 papers about terpene synthase and mentha, which is going to get downloaded in our local machine in the form of XML and PDF. Pygit Papers, as you can see in the command, Pygit Papers is the tool we are using. Q is query, which says that terpene synthase is the topic of our papers, which our paper is all about. K and 80 is the number of papers. TPS Mentha is the folder in which these papers are going to be get saved, and we can look into TPS_Mentha folder for the papers which are going to get downloaded. Now you are looking at the folders. Mini corpus is present in OIL 186, which has number of folders which contains PMC IDs. And again, in these folders, we have XML and PDF files containing papers. One interesting fact, all the papers has Wikidata entries. Hence, the big titles of the papers can be condensed into the small IDs, which we can easily search for. Now, I would like to share my progress. At the beginning of this internship, I wasn't aware of coding at all. But as I worked upon CV Open project, I learned about open tools, softwares, computer language facing technical difficulties, and solve them together. Experience counts. And here I have learned about creativity. We take initiative to learn something new. Everyone is ambitious and always ready to help one another. We make mistakes, but what keeps us far from failing is not giving up. With this wonderful team, I'm sure we'll achieve more and more. Thank you everyone for being a wonderful audience. As I have shown you how we automatically downloaded papers, now Vagishwari will tell you about getting this all together. Over to you, Shweta.
Thank you so much, Anam. We now have Rageshwari, who's basically going to let us know how all of this fits together. So we have the mini corpus, we have the dictionaries. what do we do with it, right? So that's where Rageshwari is going to step in and show us how all of this fits together. So over to you, Rageshwari.
Thanks, everyone. This is Kumari Rageshwari from Jaipur, Rajasthan, and I'm currently pursuing my master's in biotechnology from Botany Department, University of Rajasthan. And you can just go and check on this Q66485 to know more about Jaipur. So I have done my work on Vitis vinifera, but basically we'll be talking about the AMY search here. As we have discussed the workflow from creating dictionaries to downloading literature, then searching the literature using dictionaries and linking it back to Wikimedia. So we'll be focusing on linking it back to Wikimedia. AMY Search is a search engine which needs to be installed into your system by installing certain things as mentioned on the documentation page on GitHub in Wiki. There you will find this command. We'll be running this command to create full data tables out of the dictionaries that have been created yet. And dictionary creation has been thoroughly discussed by Prachi and Anjali as well. So here's the command which is going to run and create full data tables. Full data tables will be taking these dictionaries and it will be in a tabular format showing the paper PMC IDs and some certain terms, which we'll be seeing in next slides. So this full data table can be located into your local system in the very corpus you created. And in this complete data table, you can see the PMC IDs and certain terms and their hyperlinks as well. Suppose I am hampered by pyrophosphate term. I don't know what pyrophosphate is, so I can just click on the hyperlink and go to the wiki page of that particular term and know more about it. And this would be a great fun to do, that you won't be hampered by any of new terms within your work. So you can just click on the hyperlink of that particular term and it will link back to Wikipedia and tell you about that particular term, like here we can see of pyrophosphate. So this was all about linking back to Wikimedia and creation of data tables. You can also see the co-occurrences. As you can see here, the Arabidopsis thaliana and terpene synthase co-occur in 17 papers, and you can also locate them like monoterpene synthase and Artemisia annua as well. They also co-occur at 2 papers, and you can just locate the co-occurrences as well. So this is what our AMY search is doing. So this was all about the work we had done from creating dictionaries to linking it back to Wikimedia. This is how it all works. And we have also worked as a great team wherever we have faced certain issues, as everybody told us that we were from botany background and we will be facing a lot of issues, and that was true. When you're working with science in some new environment, you will face issues, you will make mistakes. This is how we learn, right? So we worked as a team, we reported issues on the GitHub page, and as well as documented the whole procedure. As you can see in the last slide, here we have showed the issues that we faced, and we have also sorted it by communal problem solving, or whoever knew in the team about that particular issue sorting. It was all sorted and the work was wonderful with the whole team. Thank you everybody for listening. Here are some important links like that of my wiki page. If you want to know more about the documentation procedure and AMY installation, you can just click on the link and go there, and we have full data table link and AMY installation procedure documentation as well. So hope these would be useful. Thank you for being a good audience. Over to you, Shweta.
Thank you so much, Rageshwari. Thanks to all the interns for nicely demonstrating all of our tools and also sharing their experiences and challenges. So just to reiterate, we do all of our work in the open, and as all of the team members have also spoken about this, we update each and every step of our work as we go in real time on GitHub wiki pages, as well as in the repository. And we also solve problems communally, and whenever things crop up, we just get together, meet up, and solve our issues. So we follow what's called the open notebook philosophy, where all of the work is put into the open as and when it's done. So, and also to reiterate the workflow again, so both Prachi and Anjali have spoken about how we create dictionaries from Wikidata and Sparkle, and Anam has shown us how we automatically download the literature, and Dageshwari has shown us how everything fits together and how we use these dictionaries to search the literature, and how we get the dashboard and how it links back to Wikimedia and so on. Recently, we've also taken a step further, wherein we've taken these dictionaries, and with the help of these dictionaries, we are then able to tease out specific sections and sentences from the paper. And from those sentences, we are able to, by using natural language processing and machine learning, get some novel terms and phrases, which we are then hoping to put back to Wikidata, thereby building a feedback loop. Daniel Meechan, with whom we are collaborating, is going to talk more about it, but I'm just here to mention that how useful Wikidata has been, and how we are, by using Wikidata, able to contribute back to Wikidata. So that's it from us. I would like to thank our amazing team. First of all, our mentors, Dr. Peter Mararast and Dr. Gitanjali Yadav. I would also like to thank our Open Virus team from last year, and also the current CEV Open team and our Karya interns. So thank you everybody for listening in. We'd also like to thank our global volunteers and of course the Wikimedia community. So thank you everybody.